Have you ever wondered how innovation comes from or where innovation comes from? If you have that answer, put that in the comments below. Have you wondered how technology has been improving in the past few years, decades? Have you noticed how we went from the humble Nokia phone to like this piece of flashy, cool stuff like the iPhone, or like how we went from thick books like these into Kindles, which can hold hundreds of books, and you can take it wherever you go, and it won't be heavy. Like just 200 years ago, for the Catherine the Great of Empress of Russia to travel to some other place in Europe, she used to carry an entire carriage of her whole library, personal library over there. Like it's a huge bunch of books. A lot of logistical, uh, uh, support was required. And now, you can do that with a Kindle, which is actually pretty amazing. So how do you come up with these technological innovation? Like how can entrepreneurs, I mean, I'm talking about entrepreneurs because they are the ones who are most likely to risk it all in the market to come up with new things, right? Because they have this crazy obsession with an idea and they go forth and bring it up. So there could be some criticisms that it's not entrepreneurs exactly, but researchers who come up with it and all that. But my bet is that it's most likely to come from individual, decentralized uh, place rather than. It sounds almost like a libertarian argument, but bear with me. The how the best way to like come up with new innovative ideas and designs is to come from places where people of different domains can meet together and share ideas. And the best way, like I can think about doing that, like of course there are some, like the MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in I don't know where that place is, but I know it's in Massachusetts. So Massachusetts, they have like a building where it has some long corridors, and apparently when people walk of different domains walk in those long corridors, they have these serendipitous conversations with each other of different domains. That's how we got radar in World War II, and some other cool stuff like fiber optics. I think came from that MIT lab. So you want this to happen more often, and the best, like what we can do is we can apply the internet into bringing those kind of innovative new things. Like you combine two different domains and put them together and come up with something brand new. So that comes from two books that I would like to recommend to you is Still Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, who was able to, he wrote a book about how like there is nothing original under the sun. Like things that came before are still continuing, but in a new way, in a new format. And at the same time, How Innovation Works by Matt Ridley. Matt Ridley is an evolutionary biologist. He's also a journalist. He has written some fantastic books about evolution. And his definition or his metaphor for innovation is innovation occurs when ideas have sex, because he's an evolutionary biologist. So everything like he applies the evolutionary methodology into innovation, and how two organisms have sex and perform create new genes, like new like you have 50% genes from the one parent and the 50% of genes of this parent, and they like choose, like it's mostly random, but usually the genetic overlap or intertwine into create something new. So you are more likely to be immune to diseases if you have like these genetic variants. Okay, the more genetic variants you have. So similarly, when you take something so far apart and put them together, you create something brand new, like contrast. So there is this interesting video by Cynics Design where he talks about contrast. So like some examples of contrast can be Star Wars, because Star Wars took samurai movies and he put that with space, okay, like space age stuff, and that's how we get the war between the Jedi and the Sith in Star Wars. And if you go even further, like there's a Western element in Star Wars, and like how about Dune? Dune, the sci-fi novel, is based on the 1970s oil crisis, apparently, and how that guy Frank Herbert thought far ahead into thinking about how ecological disasters would be more. We need to watch out for them. So, like an ecological movement was also begun out of Dune. So you gotta like find out how you can take these two different aspects, and you gotta brainstorm on this. So if you need to come up with new ideas to brainstorm, I recommend this book called The Net and the Butterfly by Olivia Fox Cabane, which is a book where she talks about how you can use the neuroplasticity of your brain, or the neurological wiring of your brain, to come up with new ideas. So Rolling Stones, Keith Richards came up with the song "Satisfaction" when, like like in the middle of the night he woke up, he recorded the song, and then it went through an iteration. And Satisfaction, I can't get no satisfaction. That's the name of the song. Reached the top of the Billboard charts back then. It took Rolling Stones to the top. So you don't know how these ideas fit the market, or how these innovative stuff can connect. All right, you just gotta keep iterating. Okay, like keep overproducing and cull what doesn't work. And like overproduce and cull, overproduce and cull. That's like the strategy. So moving on, like how do entrepreneurs how can they come up with more innovative ideas, and how can they like use it to impact the market? So that's the problem with the innovation, right? Like it's a high risk, high reward venture. So the likelihood of you even producing an awesome product is very like less. I'm not like putting you down or anything. I'm just stating the facts, like the statistics of innovations. Like for every Jeff Bezos who became a billionaire, there are like probably thousands of no non-Jeff Bezos who didn't become millionaires. But that does not mean that you cull your artistic or innovative spirit, right? You got to come up with a system like that can make you like get you rewards, and also like not fall short of the risk. So mitigate the risk and still keep going forward with your design or with your innovative thing. And like I really think that Peter Thiel's book Zero to One is like the ultimate guide for startups or entrepreneurs who are going in this line, because there is a really good quote of Peter Thiel where he I'm paraphrasing here, but where he talks about how nutrition is like nutrition. There's not much research going on. I mean, there is research going on, but not to the extent of compared to the other stuff. Of course, cancer research and HIV research is very important, but nutrition research is something that is overlooked upon relative to that. And maybe like there is a possibility that you could go, entrepreneurs who want to create like disrupt this thing, they can go towards that. So regardless of what your if you're like open to new experiences, like according to Big Factor analysis of personality traits, entrepreneurs are no different than artists. They're mostly the same people, and they are the ones who like go to the very edge of the box, find new things in like when you say think out of the box, like you go to the edge, like you're talking about going to the edge of the box and see like what's there on the periphery. So you can like you need to make sure that you come up with a system such that you go to the edge but you don't fall off. Okay, like you still need to be in the box. I hope you get the metaphor here. So my mission is to help entrepreneurs come up with innovative ideas, and like achieve product market fit, and go forth and become like a unicorn company. And that requires like you start from the foundation of how you're going to like apply your crazy idea into like a system that works, a system that protects you. Like you're basically building a rocket ship to take you to the moon, right? And in the beginning it's going to be hard because it takes once the rocket leaves escape velocity and out of the Earth's gravity well, it takes 1/100th of that energy, 1/100 of that energy for it to reach the edge of the solar system. So come on, like you just gotta like work for the first 20%, and once the system is set in place, you gain the momentum, and momentum is the keyword here. So that's how you get started. Like you come up with an idea, you build a system to protect yourself from the risk, mitigate the risk, keep pivoting, go lean in the beginning, take little bets, celebrate all your wins. Like every small win counts for something, and treat it like a startup. Treat it like you can play with the punches a little bit, and it's going to be worth it. It's going to like because since this is a high risk, high reward game, it almost sounds like gambling. Okay, it almost sounds like that, almost, but it is not. Even though poker, which is actually like considered gambling, there's an amazing book. I'm sorry, I keep recommending books to you, but there's this awesome book called The Biggest Bluff by Maria Konnikova. Any uh, presumptions you had about poker and the art of gambling or anything, like you need to check out what this Russian she's a Russian immigrant, but a Russian immigrant author had to say about poker, and it is really fascinating. Like even Newman, man, the guy, the father of modern computers, von Neumann. He came up Von Neumann. Okay. He actually was gave considerable amount of his time to research on poker and to try to represent it mathematically to figure out how to come up with like artificial intelligence. All right. So there is something undiscovered, unexplored places here. Like there are some last frontiers which have still not been explored, and they are totally worth for the taking. And we are in the age of intelligent machines now. In the next 2 decades, we are going to come very much close to the singularity point where technological growth is so moving so fast that it becomes almost vertical. That there will come a time when you'll have innovative breakthroughs by the second, and you wouldn't know how to deal with all of this. So we need people like entrepreneurs and innovators who can like ease the flow of this, and uh, you can be part of this. It's going to be like a huge explosion of innovation, and it's a great time to be alive. So thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.